our next session, the 19th of June. It actually rained this morning, but we met a little bit later because we knew it would be cooler. We're working some more on the bareback pad comfort for the alpacas, and it looks like Tavis remembered to adjust the cinch so we can make it tighter. And look who's here. Thor is in his buggy, and he was very good coming here on the leash. He knows the word heel now. And so if he starts wandering off, you just say heel, and he comes closer to your legs and doesn't tend to run under fences and behind equipment. He loves coming out here with us. Alpha is being real quiet. He kind of knows, and that's his job. He's going to try to do what we ask him to do. And it's not sunny today, so we don't have to worry about trying to find shade. But look who's here trying to watch us. Brownie and Blackie. I think Alpha is so good that you can go out in the big pasture instead of in the training area.
Yeah.
Let's try that. We're not going to go out on the trails yet, the Rancho's trails, until there's an extra person along. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to leave Thor here at the tacking area, but I'll be watching him and he'll be seeing me. And Beta is following along, which is good. He'll realize now that when we put it on him, he's going to go out on the big pasture. Assuming he's going to be a good boy. Now we're trying to keep this pasture green. It needs to be finished mowing. I'm watching the irrigation come on. Oh, and Brownie is here. So Thor sees him and Blackie. I think Thor is not going to feel abandoned. Okay, I'm going to stay close to the tacking area, but we're going to follow along. See if there are any concerns in the big pasture by Alpha. And then we'll do the same thing with Beta. The grass is so high right there, it's hard to see them, but they are out there. He's not showing any concern about his safety. The bareback pad seems to be secure on his back. Now remember, we have 5 gates out of my perimeter fence here going to the Rancho's trails. We've gone out there with them before, but it was months ago. When the weather starts to stabilize, I hope next week, we'll plan on having another person along so we can go out on the rancho's trails with a saddle or a bareback pad on their backs. He's not hesitating at all. He's following Tavis. They came to the tacking area willingly. And here he's coming back to the tacking area again, and I'm gonna carefully walk to it. I just noticed that this panel was open in front of my horse trailer, which it shouldn't be. I don't want animals in the equipment area unless we're aware of it. So I closed it. Portable panels and a chain. Okay, now Beta's waiting there. I think he wants me to get out of the way. I think he will come back here to the tacking area without issue, and I hope to be able to show it to you on camera. Oh, and he's watching the goats here who are playing with each other. Okay, that might keep him from coming back. So I might want to get the goats out of the tacking area. Okay, Tavis is getting them out. Brownie's out now, and Blackie, it looks like Blackie's gonna follow. Okay, and it looks like Beta is willing to come to the tacking area. No, now he was willing to come in, but now the goats came back in. I think, Tavis, you might have to get the goats out. Okay, here he comes. No, I'm not going to let him out this way. I'm going to ask him to join Alpha and the goats in his tacking area by closing this gate. The goats and the alpacas coexist very nicely in their nighttime, late afternoon shed areas. But during the morning and early afternoon, the alpacas kind of hang out with each other, the goats hang out with each other, and they choose where they want to be. And there's Thor watching patiently. Alpha got an A+. Beta is over here watching the goats play with each other. Usually they have bigger area when they're together. It's unusual for them to be in this tacking area, all four of them. But let's see what Beta says about getting his halter on. Goats are still playing with each other. Thor is patiently waiting in his wheeled cart, which I made just for him, with pillows and protection so that he doesn't get out of it unless we choose to take him out of it. Alpha's watching the goats play. Look, his ears are back. And the goats they've never done anything dangerous to me or anybody with me or any animal with me. They're really just into each other and to being goats. Okay, now, is Beta gonna allow the cinch? It looks like it. He's being really good, and you're gonna go out to the big pasture just like you did with Alpha.
Okay.
Okay, so far Beta's being very good. I'm gonna go back in. Let the goats stay here if they want to, but it looks like they may choose to go out after they play with each other. They don't mean to hurt anybody, but when they get into playing with each other, they kind of don't pay attention to their surroundings, just to each other. Now, Alpha's watching from a distance. Beta so far is doing very, very well. He's taking the same route with Beta as he did with Alpha. And so far, Beta is getting an A+ too. I'm very, very pleased when we see improvement in our training by outcome evaluation. The next big step, I think, to make sure that we feel comfortable going out to the ranchos trails is to do this with another person leading an alpaca with a saddle or bareback pad on his back. We're going to take them together out in this big pasture. And then, with those prerequisite skills are shown to be accomplished, we'll take them out to the ranchos trails, each with a saddle or bareback pad on their back. Not yet with a child on the back. That will come with more practice here at the Table Meadow Ranchos Ranch, my 6 acres. We have plenty of places here to frequent with a child on their backs and not be out on the ranchos trails. But won't it be fun, I hope, and comfortable and safe to go on the ranchos trails before the end of the summer. Okay, now Beta he's trying to figure out what Tavis is asking him. Let's see, is he gonna try to resist? That bareback pad looks really good on his back. By eBay, I was able to obtain that pad delivered for around $55. I might even think about getting another one instead of dealing with a saddle. Because it's so simple, so lightweight. We can adjust the cinch so that it can be made tight, just like we did with this one. I'm heading back to the tacking area. Okay, so far he's getting an A+. By the way, I'm having a leak at the gate that's next to that feeder over there in front of shed 3. We're going to have to dig it up and figure out what's going on, but I just realized today that there's some surfacing water here that is likely coming from that pipe that's leaking over there. So we're going to have to do some investigative work as soon as possible. It did rain this morning, but it wasn't for very long, so it doesn't explain accumulated water here. A+ for both alpacas?
Yeah.
Okay. And you know, that bareback pad is so easy to put on and it's so simple. Do you agree I should maybe just get another one?
Yeah, they seem the most secure ones so far.
Yeah, okay. And you can adjust the cinch.
Yeah.
And here, you notice that water?
Yeah, it's from that leak over there.
Yeah, it's from the same leak. It's not from the little bit of rain we had this morning, so we've got to figure that one out, maybe this weekend. Okay, very good, Mr. Goat Boys. You didn't interfere with anything, and actually it was a good challenge to see if the alpacas would concentrate on what we were asking. And they did, and what were good, and they both got A+. We now, to finish up our lesson, we open the gates that we closed for the lesson, and in a moment we'll be putting Thor's leash on, and we'll be taking him on a leash back to the house. And I have trained Morgan horses, mini cows, and alpacas over the decades that I have had farm animals. I have trained dogs my entire adult life, and I use my principles of training with each being that I train, and they seem to work. Apply pressure if the right answer isn't being given, and when the right answer is being given, remove the pressure. Don't do it with carrots, strawberries, or anything else. And I have studied horse training for many decades with the help of YouTube and RFD TV. Here we go. He's going into his tacking area. We leave the buggy here, and he knows that. His tail is wagging. He kind of knows that we're going to pick him up out of the buggy, put his leash on, and I say leash when I approach him. And I'm gonna video him on a leash as he starts walking towards the house. Heel, say heel. He's a little bit distracted, but he will heel. He does eventually realize, oh, wait a minute, I've got to pay attention to what they're asking me to do. And he's doing that now. So we'll finish our filming today. And this is Sonia Sokolow, the urban alpaca girl, saying goodbye for now, and please contact me if you have any comments or questions. SoniaSokolow@gmail.com.